This tutorial is designed to teach high school students how to create citations for two of the most common types of sources that they will encounter as they complete research projects and essays. If you are a high schooler, you might be groaning as you think, why do I have to learn all of these crazy rules? The answer to that question is quite simple. Proper writing and research require proper citations. That is to say, you must give credit where credit is due. Different disciplines have different styles of properly citing sources in academic writing. You may have heard of MLA, APA, Chicago, or even Turabian. These are some of the most common styles, but for the purposes of this tutorial, we will focus on MLA format, which you will use most often in your English classes. It is important to understand what circumstances warrant citing the source of your information. If you are inserting a quotation into your paper, summarizing information that you read, or paraphrasing a portion of your reading, you must cite your source. Essentially, you need to include a citation anytime you use someone else's words or ideas in your writing. One of the most common and most basic types of sources you will use is an actual book. As a guide for this type of citation, we will be using The Giver by Lois Lowry. What's that, you say? Is this choice simply an excuse for me to shamelessly share this picture of myself with the great Lois Lowry? Why, yes. Yes, it is. To find the information needed for your citation, you'll need to locate the title page of your book, which is generally one of the first 2 or 3 pages. Collect the information you need, the author's name, the title of the book, the publisher, and the publication date. The city of publication is only necessary under special circumstances, such as if the book was published before 1900 or if the publisher has offices in multiple countries. So pulling from the title page, we have the author, Lois Lowry, the title, The Giver, the publisher, Houghton Mifflin, and the year of publication, 1993. Now it's time to arrange our citation in the proper order and format. In MLA format, the author's name is written as the last name, followed by a comma, and the first name, followed by a period. The title of the book is written in italics, followed by a period. The publisher's name is followed by a comma, and the publication date is followed by a period. So for The Giver, our citation would be what you see here. Take a moment to familiarize yourself with this layout. If a book has 2 authors, the format is essentially the same. We'll just add the second author's name after the first author's name. Note that the second author's name occurs in the usual sequence, first name and then last. MLA format does not necessitate listing more than 2 authors, so if the book has 3 or more authors, we list the first author as usual, and then write et al. To stand in for the other authors' names. In both of these cases, the rest of the citation does not change. Another common circumstance is utilizing more than one book by the same author in your research. When this is the case, the author's name is listed as usual for the first citation. For consecutive works by this author, which are listed directly after the first entry, the author's name is replaced by 3 dashes and a period. So looking at our list of works cited, we now have Lois Lowry's Gathering Blue and The Giver both listed. Works cited pages are in alphabetical order by the first word of the citation, which is usually the author's last name. In the case of 2 books by the same author, we will alphabetize by the next element in the citation, which is the book title. Another very common type of source you will encounter is an article from an online database such as EBSCOhost, JSTOR, or LexisNexis. For this example, we will use an article about The Giver retrieved from a journal using EBSCOhost. The list of information needed grows a bit as we move from books in print to journals found in an online database. We will need to know the name of the author or editor, the title of the article and journal, any volume, edition, or issue numbers listed, the publisher name and date of publication, the page numbers of the article, the URL, permalink, or DOI number, the database used, and the date of access. For this article, most of the information can be found listed on the first page of the article, but the listing in EBSCOhost gives us any of the missing information that we need. The author is Susan G. Lee. The title, Seeing Beyond Sameness, Using the Giver to Challenge Colorblind Ideology. The journal title, Children's Literature and Education, can be found in the upper left-hand corner of the page. Volume and issue numbers are also listed there, as well as the publication date. Since the publisher is the same as the journal name, we do not have to list it twice. The page numbers can be found by looking at the actual article, but they are also given in the article listing in EBSCOhost. The DOI number is found in both places as well. Since a DOI links to a permanent version of the article, we don't need to list our date of access here. Once we have formatted all of our information correctly, we can add this to our Works Cited page. Pay close attention to the details, and you'll see that article titles are always put in quotation marks, and journal titles and database names are in italics. Every comma and period are there for a reason and are necessary for the citation to be correct. Your Works Cited should also be formatted with a hanging indent, as you can observe in this first citation. And again, don't forget to alphabetize your Works Cited page. For more information on MLA formatting and citing other types of sources, all the information you need can be found in the MLA Handbook, from which the formatting guidelines in this tutorial are taken. You will also find information there on how to use in-text parenthetical citations and guidelines for formatting your entire paper. For citation information on the web, you may also visit the MLA section of the OWL Purdue website.